Hello and welcome to The Bottom of the Well. This is another visual novel, but supposedly more in the horror category. And this will probably be a fairly short Let's Play, because supposedly one playthrough can be as short as 20 minutes. This is what's written on their shop page. And although you're encouraged to do several playthroughs and they build up on each other, let's just start with one. I only went ahead and changed the name here on the profile. Apparently you can have different profiles if several people are playing on your account. I'm just using this one. And let's do a quick check here of the help section. Welcome to Bottom of the Well. This game is a visual novel. You will mainly interact with it by selecting one of many options during the narrative, which is mainly text-based. There are, however, two additional layers of interaction. 1. Customizing Alice. This you do when you start a new game and allows you to begin and play the game with an entirely different set of skills and characteristics. For example, a fit and survival-minded Alice will have a different experience from an unfit but social Alice. Pick your skills with care, but have fun experimenting. 2. The inventory. At a certain point in the game, you will be able to choose what Alice is carrying. How much you can carry depends on Alice's backpack, which is directly dependent on her organization skill. You only pick up items once in the beginning of the game, but you may lose them during the course of the game. All interaction happens through clicking. No right clicks or keyboard commands are ever needed, but there are two keyboard commands that I used: escape to bring up the in-game menu, and holding down shift and space or enter to skip text. Okay. Enjoy the game, and if you have any questions, comments, bug reports, report to these resources. Thank you. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump down the rabbit hole, I suppose, and start a new game. Oh, there it is. Default Alice, random, custom. Yeah, let's start with the default Alice, I suppose. The default Alice is capable of finishing the game to its true ending, but not necessarily through all branches. This Alice is career-motivated, friendly, somewhat lazy, a hopeless romantic with no survival skills at all. She makes up for it by being a good organizer. Okay. Yeah. Supplies. This skill is general, represents Alice's food ability. This skill in general represents Alice's ability to organize her supplies, both food and others. For example, flashlights, first aid kits. A high skill means she can carry more things in her backpack and also influences the availability of food and certain items. I don't really want to go into these stats too much, I think, just for the start. Alice has majored in English, which is not the most immediately useful skill in the post-apocalypse. The career stat is part skill, part representative of her position in academia, which might be less than useful in the post-apocalypse. It might, however, open up some interesting venues of approach. So, yeah, the stats basically open up some choices and some of the dialogue, I guess. But for first, like when you're doing it the first time, I don't think they matter too much yet. Or, I mean, they matter, but I don't have anything to compare them to. Social life, fitness, yeah, that matches up with me. Survival. Okay, let's just get into it. Dream Diary, September 13th, 2015. Today I had the weirdest dream in my life. Oh. Morning, eh? Morning. Did you catch the anniversary reading last night? No. Well, I tried, but I fell asleep. Listen, about that. You fell asleep? Oh, come on. Alice in Wonderland is like our favorite. let me finish. Something happened. I was tuning in on my radio. You're such a luddite. Amazing. I can even catch you online. Shut up. I'm not a luddite. Luddite? I don't really know this word, to be honest. I just like analog things. Anyway, I was tuning into the broadcast and I must have hit the AM switch or something because suddenly the channel changed to something else. What? Aliens? Oh, government-run number stations? No, it was this weird, like, white noise at first. It's hard to explain why I was so drawn to it. I could hear snippets of some melody, maybe lyrics, but the signal was weak. So you turned it off and continued looking for the Alice broadcast? So I went out on my balcony and turned the antenna around until the signal came through clear. It now sounded more like music with an odd signal in the background. When logic and proportion have fallen sloppy dead, and the white knight is talking backwards, and the red queen's off with her head. Oh, so somebody's pirate radio broadcast of golden oldies? It felt like there was something else there, some message that the music was hiding. I know it sounds weird, and then I fell asleep. What a story. No, hear me out. I dreamed, and I didn't know I was dreaming. Do you understand? It was entirely lucid, but like waking up in another world. Except I didn't think of it as another world. Ugh, does this make any sense? You had a super lifelike dream where you didn't know you were dreaming, but you were still lucidly in control? Sounds pretty rad to me. I'm sure it would have been, except for the whole end of the world apocalypse bit in the dream. Okay, now you've got my attention. Okay, Mr. Mad Hatter. So, obviously we have a bit of a Alice in Wonderland theme here, which is a bit of an appeal to me personally. I like Wonderland theme things. But, okay. So, like I said, it was the end of the world. Everything I did that day felt like the real thing. Every smell, every sound, every color, every touch. It's important you know that. I wasn't acting like I would in a dream. I didn't know it was a dream. Heavy. There was no warning, no build-up, nothing. Just, between one moment and the next, the TV had turned to the emergency alert system, and this voice that sounded like it had been recorded in the 60s told us we were under attack. Were you alone? Yeah. I had had a really long day at the office, so I had sworn off all social contact for the evening. I had the TV on in the background, just as noise. Wait, what? The office? You mean you've got some kind of a real adult person job in this dream of yours? Yeah, actually, at the college. Student admissions office. Hey, don't sound so surprised. I am going to graduate in just a few months, you know. Uh-huh, with a BA in English Lit. Shut up. Such skill with words. Anyway, what happened next? Like I said, the TV suddenly turned to the emergency alert system. Jacked the volume all the way up too. I didn't even know they could do that. The broadcast told us we were under attack, right now, and that we needed to go to get to shelter. That we had less than 30 minutes before the bombs hit. Jesus, sounds scary. At first I didn't want to believe it. I switched the channel, but they were all the same. And then the sirens started. Tornado sirens, flood sirens, I don't know. And I knew things were serious. So, what'd you do? Okay, so here's our first choice. I went online to find out what was going on. I immediately tried to call Jess. I needed to think about my options. So, no idea what chess is, but I'm going with immediately try to call Chess. Chess? Who's that? My, boyfriend. I mean, I don't have a boyfriend, but in my dream I did. Wait up. Tell me more about this sudden new boyfriend of yours. I thought you weren't in the dating scene. Actually, I've been thinking about putting myself out there, like maybe some online dating or something. Although I'm kind of afraid to check OkCupid right now. What if there's a guy there named Chess? Good icebreaker. Hi, I'm Alice. I dreamed about you last night. You were my end of the world buddy. Funny. Aren't I just? You were saying about Chess? What kind of a name is that anyway? I wasn't really. I mean, yeah, he was pretty hot, I guess. And smart and into me. What more could you ask for? I can sense you blushing all the way over here. Maybe I should check my OkCupid profile, actually. So, what did your boyfriend think? Well, first I tried calling him, but all I got was a pre-recorded network busy message. But the net still worked, so I hit him up there. I mean, we did most of our communications in chat anyway. As you do. And I found him, but there was no time for, well, anything. I started typing, holy hell, what the fuck is going on style stuff, and he just tersely replied he had to go. That's a little blunt. He told me he needed to go get his sister. His sister? How come? He'd mentioned her a few times. She's disabled, but lives in a house by herself, out somewhere in the boroughs. Did he ask you to come too? He didn't ask, I did. I'm going to be outside my apartment in 5 minutes, he said, then logged off. I guess that's an invitation of sorts. So, what'd you do? Well, I knew that Chess wasn't going to wait for me. If I wanted to go with him, I had to go right away. Just grab my stuff and go. Making quick decisions in the spur of the moment doesn't sound like you. So what'd you do? I went online to find out what was going on. I needed to think about my options. I went with Chess to help him out with his sister. Yeah, let's just go with this. So I decided to go with Chess. I mean, how couldn't I? He clearly needed help. Altruistic. How long had you been dating? Cynic. Long enough to know my feelings were real. I mean, they felt real in the dream. Where did the sister live again? In a borough. Practically the suburbs, so pretty far. Chess said he usually takes the subway or a bus. Chess actually lived just down the street, and we always had a customary place to meet. We didn't even need to confirm the place anymore, but it didn't seem very likely we would be able to catch a bus or the subway. So how were you planning on getting to the sister? In less than 30 minutes? Oh, spoiler, the bombs didn't start dropping on us within 30 minutes. It took longer than that. They did start though. That's lucky. Yeah, well, it didn't mean we weren't in a hurry. But you didn't leave empty-handed though, right? Oh, right, yes. I grabbed the biggest bag I had. A backpack. People always called it magic. You could fit so much into it. Bigger on the inside and all that. Okay, here's the inventory one, so we can... What does that mean? We have 4 spaces. Okay, what do we have? The flashlight, a map, a radio, spare clothes, sleeping bag, food, 2 days. Alright. I guess a map would be good. Oh, okay, so for the backpack and for the hands. Oh dear. Radio? for the hand. Sleeping bag. Wait. Oh, wait. There's an actual help section. This is your inventory screen. Drop and pick up. Pressing the buttons on the left, read a description of the items by holding down the mouse over them. Okay. Some items can be carried in your hands, but most have to be carried in your backpack. Size depends on supply skill. Note that you can't make changes once you're done, so make sure you gear up right. You can look at your stats by clicking the red arrow to the left of Alice. Click the red X, okay. A day's worth of non-perishable food. The radio that started it all. Every channel I can get just keeps repeating the same recorded emergency response message. The student office gives these maps out to freshmen. Somehow this one ended up at my apartment. It's got everything. Subway map, street map of the downtown area, a detailed map of the campus. My flashlight. I keep the batteries in it fresh and make sure it works at all times, especially when the evenings get darker, but I still have to go out for my run. My miniature sleeping bag. Always useful for sleepovers, but God knows how useful it'd be in an actual outdoors environment. The rest of my clothes are in a state of advanced disarray, but I've kept the set clean and folded in case I suddenly find myself on a date. Okay, my old sneakers, a little beaten up but perfectly serviceable. Okay. So can we not take the sleeping bag? Is it too big? Oh, we only have 3 spaces in our backpack. Okay, gee. So if we're going to go with chairs and pick up the sister, I'm feeling like we should need more food. Hands are full. Yeah. So the radio, food, the map, and the flashlight. I don't know, I'm just gonna go with that. Okay. Go on, borrow, sister, bombs incoming. How did you plan to get there in the chaos? The chaos. Yeah, the streets were nuts. Everything and everyone was going crazy. Crashes everywhere, but no one was responding. The street was completely gridlocked. I'm talking maybe 15 minutes after the first announcement here. All it takes is a few cars in the wrong place. But you live pretty centrally, right? It had to be better further out. Did Chess have a car? No, but if we wanted a car, there were tons around. People just left them, keys in the ignition, and ran. Holy shit, it really must have been bedlam. It was. I was so scared. So, steal a car or walk? We discussed walking. It was like 14 miles or something. It'd probably take at least 4 or 5 hours on a good day, and this wasn't a good day. Maybe a good start though. Things might clear up outside the downtown area, and you might be able to steal a car there. Appropriate a car. Stealing sounds so criminal. Whatever you say. Any other options except stealing, appropriating a car and hoofing it? Something in between. I know a guy with a motorcycle. He really loves that motorcycle, but I wondered if maybe he'd be willing to borrow it. I mean, for fuck's sake, we were going to go rescue a disabled woman. You know him well? Reasonably. I didn't know you knew how to drive a motorcycle. I'm a woman of many talents. So, what did you do? I decided to try appropriating a car. We decided to walk out of the worst chaos. We decided to try with my acquaintance with a motorcycle. I think we're gonna go with a car. I mean, she didn't say what the disability of the sister was, but it seems kind of more practical than a motorcycle. I mean, depending on the state of the streets, but yeah, let's go with the car. By your description, this seems like kind of a bad idea. Yeah. Well, finding a vehicle was easy, but they had all been abandoned for a good reason. They weren't going anywhere. Oh. I had to find one I could feasibly get out of there with. An abandoned one you could feasibly get out of there with. Right. So, how did that go? And what did Chess have to say about this? He was game, anything to get to his sister faster. But he figured we'd make better time if we split up. I went for the car, he went to scout out a route. Sounds like a plan. I wasn't really sure what I was looking for, just that I needed a car stat. I found a station wagon open and with the key in the ignition, no sign of the owner. I jumped in and gunned it, and got maybe half a block before I hit complete traffic stop. Everyone was beeping, people were abandoning their cars, all traffic rules forgotten. I'm not sure what else you expected. And that's true. Yeah, well, I decided walking was the best option. The whole downtown area was gridlocked. Cars everywhere, people running down the sidewalks, and the sirens blaring. It was like one of those disaster movies. No hope of driving anywhere, at any rate. But where was everyone going? Most of them were going home, I think. People were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And there you were, running away from home. Once I made my decision, I stuck to it, no matter how much I was filled with doubt. Half an hour. Half an hour was nothing at all. But luckily that estimate was completely wrong. Sometimes I'll walk half an hour in the wrong direction just because I stubbornly refuse to believe I'm lost. I didn't know what was the right direction. But I did try to get there as fast as possible, although that was a lot harder than I thought it would be. I was swept up in a mass of people and manhandled in the wrong direction more than once. Every few minutes I stopped to consult the map to make sure I was going in the right direction. Was there any danger? Like people attacking each other or something? No. I thought we were all going in the same direction. But then I realized that the crowd was heading somewhere I hadn't planned to go. A subway station. What you do? I was swept along. It was that or get trampled or pinned against some wall. I finally managed to disentangle myself at the stalled mass of people just outside the entrance. Apparently it was closed, and people were trying to break through the gates. By the time I was out though, I had lost a lot of time. Time, yes. Isn't that the thing you're fighting here? How far away were you planning on getting? Well, a lot further than I had gotten at that point. I could practically still see my apartment building. But the crowd was slowly thinning at least, and I actually saw a vehicle in motion, an ambulance, weaving between stalled cars with its siren blaring. What you do? What I had planned to find an appropriate car. I kept walking, although I started looking for shelter. I kept walking, intending to get away from danger before I had to stop walking. Okay. Shall we stick with the car? Okay, I'll go with I kept walking, although I started looking for shelter. I found myself looking over my shoulder all the time, as if the flash could come at any time. Aren't you supposed to look away from the flash? Well, yeah, but how could I not? Some warning, something. The sirens were pointless. Weren't they supposed to warn when the event is imminent? Now I'd been out for at least an hour and no bombs yet. I think I would have just stayed at home, or done just about anything but head out onto the open. You do that when you have this dream. I did what I did. So, how long did you risk staying out? I asked Chess what he thought, and he just shook his head. He was going to keep going. I couldn't risk it. I demanded we stop and look for shelter, or I followed Chess. Let's stick together. Chess's single-mindedness was what led me. I was pretty sure this was a monumental mistake and that we'd get caught outside and killed for sure, but I couldn't just leave him, so we kept walking. So how did that work out for you? You think it was easy? People had driven out into the sidewalks and left their cars. Everything was a mess. I tried going down the main highway, but it proved pointless and I had to backtrack. I didn't say it was easy. Did you consider running? I half ran and jogged as much as I could, but it felt like being late for class. I got tired almost immediately, while the goal was still as far away as ever. Chess wanted to go faster, but he slowed down when he saw I was struggling. The worried look on his face went nowhere though. Well, once I got away from the downtown area, things were much smoother. I ran as fast as I could, as far as I could. No bombs. Still no bombs. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my luck. But I knew I was pushing it now. What did you do? We were getting closer, so we kept walking. So, did you make it? Maybe the bombs were just a scare. No, they weren't. I saw it as a glow high above the town. What? You were outside when the bombs fell? I don't know. I thought I'd have time to get away, but I just wasted too much of it somehow. I was out on the street when the initial shockwave came. There was just no duck and cover could have saved any of us there from that, I don't think. The next thing I know, I am showered in glass as every window above us shatters. Cars swerved off the road and crashed. Bedlam and light. Bright, bright light. I tried to crawl out of the way when something hit me. Maybe a piece from a building. I don't know. I blacked out. You have a really fucked up imagination, Alice. It didn't feel like a dream. That's the thing, because you don't wake up in dreams, do you? But I did. Bleeding, alone, out on the street. What did you see? I saw a burning city. Ash rained down. And downtown, far too close, a mushroom cloud, just staring me in the face. It was the end of the world. I just knew that there and then. Jeez. And then there was a streak of light, and it was actually almost beautiful as it fell from space. Just a streak of light, at only a slight angle. I just had time to think, no, we've had enough, before it hit. For some reason, I elected to stare right at it when it impacted, above the ground, in a terrible fireball. Ugh, please tell me the dream ended here. Yeah, I didn't really see it though, but I died, eventually, in the dark. And thus concluded my dream. Well, that was interesting. What do you think? I think it felt incomplete, like there was something missing. That wasn't the way it was supposed to end, you know? Dreams are supposed to end in certain ways? This one was, I think. It felt like it was trying to tell me something, but I wasn't listening closely enough. Maybe you can try again next night. See if you hear the same recording. Speaking of, what frequency was this on? That's the weird part. When I tried to see, I realized I had hit the right channel, and that it was in fact reading Alice in Wonderland. And this isn't exactly some obscure number station frequency on the AM bands. Well, maybe you'll dream it next night again anyway. That's the good thing with dreams, you can always dream them again. And maybe do something different the second time around. There you have it. That was our first dream. Oh, some achievements are first death, of course, and better prepared. Yeah, I kind of expected this to go this way. I mean, that the end would be that we'll die. Yeah, that was interesting. I saw some screenshots from the game, of course, on the shop page, and most of it was held in this chat style, but I didn't really know that everything would be, how to phrase it, like as a simplistic at this, but it's really interesting. You really have to use your imagination a bit. And yeah, of course, with all the different stats, the profiles that you can have, there can be a lot of variations. I mean, from what they're telling us. But yeah, I think this is it from my side. If you thought this was interesting and maybe you want to try yourself, check out the game on Steam. It's actually free, so not much reason for you not to try it out for yourself. So, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!